For reasons that utterly escape everyone involved, you're listening to a bipolar, a schizophrenic, and a podcast. Here are your hosts, Gabe Howard and Michelle Hammer.
Hello, I'm Michelle. I have schizophrenia.
I'm Gabe. I have bipolar, and we are going to play
Two Truths and a Lie.
And we are sincerely hopeful that we can stump my mother.
Yes, Gabe's mother says she has never lost at Two Truths and a Lie. So we are going to stump Gabe's mom.
I think part of the problem is that she knows me really, really well. So she's figured out like all my tells, and most of the stories I've already told her because I talk a lot.
Well, the wrath of Gabe. Wrath of Gabe.
Yeah, I don't know how that got blown so far out of proportion. But in my mom's defense, I don't know how she sees through Michelle.
Well, I mean, she says that some of my stories are so ridiculous that they have to be true.
That's true. That's true. Sometimes you go so ridiculous, truth is the only remaining option. Like our president.
We have a president?
No. We've got a Twitterer-in-chief.
Oh, we have a Twitterer-in-chief.
Yes, I don't want to go political on the show, so we'll just move past this. Michelle, as always, you go first because you are the prettiest.
I sure am the prettiest. Okay. Is this true or is this false?
False. You're not the prettiest. I win.
I fucking hate you. Okay. I have a story from college, as I usually do in these stories. Being a schizophrenic girl, I talk to myself. You might have heard me tell this many times that I talk to myself. But I shared a house with many a roommate, my junior year. And one night, we invited a whole bunch of guys back to our house, and I ended up with one on the couch just talking to this guy, Stephen. And me and Stephen were just talking. We exchanged numbers, and then Stephen left. But then apparently I went back and sat on the couch and pretended to have a conversation with Stephen for about 15 minutes, but I was unaware of this. The next day, I come downstairs, and my roommate, Wendy, and her boyfriend at the time, Adam, said, "Were you talking to yourself on the couch last night?" I said, "No, I was talking to that guy, Steven." They said, No. He left, and then you sat on the couch, and you were talking to somebody. And I said, "No, what are you talking?" They go, No. You were talking to somebody on the couch, and you kept repeating yourself, and nobody was there." And I was like, "Did that happen? Are you sure?" And they're like, "It definitely happened. There was a guy, and then he left, and then you went back to the couch and had a whole conversation." And I was like, "I believe you, because that's very likely. But that's just my story, because I didn't know I did it, but my friends told me I did it. So I guess I did it. Did I?"
All right. We're going to call that, is Stephen real?
Stephen, are you real, Stephen?
If he is real, I hope you changed his name so that we don't end up with a lawsuit.
Okay.
Did you change his name?
Possibly.
All right. Good. You're following along. When we first started this, you would have fallen for that. So you're getting smarter.
It's all those supplements.
The supplements. It's not practiced or work. It's a supplement. No doubt.
Yes, yeah. It's protein powder. Protein powder.
Okay, here's my story.
Let's hear this story, Gabe.
One time when I was really, really sick, I was concerned that people were spying on me. This was a common concern, and it happened in many, many variations. So the first thing that I want to say is I'll just give everybody just a heads up. Me thinking that people were spying on me, following me around. We've covered this on the show before, so that part is absolutely true. You don't need to focus in on it. But in this particular case, I thought that people had surrounded my house and infiltrated the house. And my wife was not at home. And I was terrified that if I fell asleep inside, that she would come inside the house and be attacked by these people, and I wouldn't be able to protect her.
Which wife?
Wife number 2.
Okay.
Wife number 2. And so my thought to protect my wife, I wanted to be a good husband. Let's be fair. I wanted to be a good husband.
Yeah. You're such a good husband. You did it 3 times.
Right. I'm very good at it.
Yeah, you're great at it.
Yeah. So what I did was I went outside, and again, keep in mind it's late. It's after midnight, legitimately, and I walked the property line of my house. I just walked all the way around the property line, on the sidewalk in front of the house, down the side of the house, along the back fence, all the way down beside the neighbor's house, across the driveway. And I just kept doing that until my wife got home. And it was, I don't know, 2 or 3 in the morning. And she said that from the look of me, I had been doing this for a couple of hours. I was barefoot. It was in winter. Now, it was unseasonably warm. It was probably about 50, 60 degrees outside. Well, 40 or 50 degrees. And I was kind of heavy set. But when she asked me what was going on, I was so happy to see her because I was positive that she had gone in the house when I was in the backyard and I didn't see her. And I was very, very happy that she wasn't dead. And
well,
I believe
that's great.
Yeah.
Not having your wife dead is a total plus.
It really is a total plus, especially if you think that the reason the murderers are there is because they're following you.
Oh, that you would think that the murderers are there to kill you, but instead they killed your wife. That's terrible. That's not something you want to happen. That's
right.
No, I get you. I understand you, Gabe.
Right. That's the plot of every 80s action movie ever.
Is that where you got the idea for this story?
No, it happened.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we will call this Gabe's 80s action movie.
Okay.
Gabe's
80s action movie.
See, I like to line them up because we've got Stephen in the name of the other one. So round 1, we have Is Stephen Real and Gabe's 80s action movie. Michelle, it's all you.
Okay, this second story actually takes place at that same house. We had a neighbor named Karl. What's his name? Karl was crazy. He would come over sometimes with a cat that he found outside, and he was just absolutely bonkers. He had a crush on my roommate, and he would just come. One time he showed up in a Santa suit on Halloween, and then my roommate sat on his lap, took a picture, put it on the Facebook, and he set it as his Facebook profile photo for the next 6 months. But the thing is, I started getting really paranoid about Karl because I'm like, he's got a crush on Kate. He comes over here all the time. What if he comes up to my room and tries to kill me? Because Karl would always come over and say, like, I'm on acid. I'm on acid right now. Or I'm on shrooms right now. And I'm like, this guy is crazy. He's nuts. He's always coming over, knocking on her door. Is Kate home? Is Kate home? And I would say, she's not home. She's not home. She's not home. But I was at that point in my life, I was so paranoid and I had trouble sleeping that I'd wake up at night. I would look up and I would see Karl's afro in the dark. And I would think Karl's in my room and I would freak out. And I would tell my roommates, dude, Karl can never come over here. And they'd say, we don't want him here either. He's weird. But I'm like, I am afraid of this guy. But the thing is, me being afraid of this guy, he was shorter than me. But I was so creeped out by him because I thought he carried around knives and stuff. Because all he would do was talk about all the drugs he was on. And all he wanted to do was hang out with Kate all the time. So it was just like, Karl's going to come over here. He's going to come in my room and he's going to kill me. I was just so paranoid about Karl that I freaked out all the time. That's my story. That was a dumb story. I know it was dumb, but whatever. I was paranoid about Karl. He scared me. I mean, like, he was the creepiest neighbor I've ever had. He had an afro, but he was tiny, and he was always on drugs. And I thought he was going to show up in my room all the time because we didn't lock the door, because upstate New York, that's how it rolls.
You know, it's not paranoid if people really are out to get you. And Crazy Karl, with boundary issues and clearly stalking your neighbor, is probably somebody to be paranoid about.
But he wasn't after me. He was after my roommate to love her.
I think that dressing like Santa's a good start. I don't know why you're stigmatizing men who dress like Santa.
But I'm not that was just a Halloween costume, whatever. I'm just saying.
As somebody who dresses like Santa Claus for Christmas, I'm offended.
Who do you want to sit on your lap? Children or college girls?
I cannot now answer that question. If I say college girls, I'm a horrible pervert. And if I say children, I'm a pedophile. You ruined Santa for everyone. It's because you're Jewish. You're trying to ruin Christmas.
Actually, you didn't know all Jews ruin Christmas for everybody. Wow. All Jews. Jews just ruin Christmas. You know what? I don't even know what Christmas is. What is Chris? Who's Chris?
I don't know, but I hope
Who's this Christopher? Is there a Christopher I should know about?
Yes, Kris Kringle.
Kris Kringle?
Yes.
Pringles? Does he like Pringles?
I don't know. You'd have to ask him.
Wait, Kris Kringle's real?
Yes, he's Santa.
He's Santa? I thought you were Santa. I thought Karl was Santa. How come everybody dresses up like Santa? Who's Santa?
Did you see Santa kissing mommy?
Karl and Kate never made out. He was just obsessed with her.
And she set no boundaries.
No, she was afraid of him.
But if you're afraid of somebody, why do you let them into your home? Why don't you set boundaries with this individual?
After the incident of Halloween, we never let him in anymore. But he was always trying to come in, and I was afraid of him.
Now, why was that an incident? He just came over dressed like Santa.
With a cat. That wasn't his cat.
Whose cat was it?
Good question. Do you not? Okay, I don't think you like this story very much, but it's, you know what? Listen, I would wake up in the middle of the night, see an afro in the door, but it wasn't anything. It was just a shadow, but I thought Karl was going to kill me in my freaking sleep.
So you were paranoid about Karl?
Yes.
Because he was crazy?
He was nuts.
All right. So we'll call this story Crazy Karl.
I wish you could have met him. You should. I have so many more stories about him. Oh my God.
We're going to see what happens here with Mr. Crazy Karl. All right, here is my story because it is my turn. When I was really, really sick, I was unable to get out of bed and do like basic hygiene. I didn't shower. I didn't brush my teeth. I didn't shave. We've talked about this on the show before, and I think a lot of people that have really seen depression or experienced depression understand that idea that look, getting in the shower or moving from your bed to another room is just way too difficult to handle. When I started to feel better, though, I overcompensated. And I started showering like every hour on the hour. It became like a real problem. I made my skin really raw. I had to go to the dermatologist. And I started showering just multiple times a day, washing my hair a lot, scrubbing everything. I always felt dirty. I wore multiple changes of clothes a day, multiple socks, multiple underwear, multiple shirts. I never felt clean. Every smell that smelled like body odor, anything, I just assumed it was me, and I would just panic, and I would run and take another shower. Today, now that I'm a lot better, I still shower 2 to 3 times a day. I shower in the morning, I shower before bed, and I usually shower once during the day. I never feel clean, and I am disgusted by my own body and the functions that are contained within it, and other people's bodily functions bother me even more. It's you know how they talk about like clean freaks that are constantly cleaning their house and like no matter what, they vacuum like 3 times a day. I am that guy, except with my body. I just always feel disgusting.
Do you have a preference of body wash that you have to use?
I don't care, but I don't like body wash. I use soap. I like a bar of soap, and my preference.
What, like Ivory or something?
No, I use a 10-ounce bar. I like a 10-ounce bar of soap because it's
I didn't know it comes that big.
Yeah, you gotta special order it on the internet.
How do you hold? I don't understand how you hold a bar of soap that big.
Look at the size of my hands.
That's a good point. You're a foot taller than me, so your hands are that much. Can you palm a basketball by any chance?
Yes.
You can easily palm a basketball.
I wouldn't say easily. I do have to wedge it in my hand. Like I can't just reach down and pick it up.
You can palm a basketball.
Yes.
Because
yes,
I in no way, shape, or form will ever in my lifetime be able to palm a basketball.
Wait.
Yeah.
Hang on. Can you palm a baseball?
Shut up.
I'm just asking.
Who can't palm a baseball? What kind of question is that? Can you palm a baseball?
I'm going to call this story Big Ass Bar of Soap.
Big Ass Bar of Soap. What does it smell like? What does it smell like? What's your smell preference?
I don't have one, except that I like it to smell. So like I don't have unscented.
I like a nice mountain, or like that black ice smell. You know that black ice smell?
The bar of soap that I like the most is a black bar, and when you rub it on your body, it leaves black behind. Like because it's the dye is it's like a black bar of soap, and it physically goes on your skin black. And I like that because I can see where the bar has been, like where I have gone. Whereas when you use other soap, you can't necessarily tell if you've covered yourself.
Obviously, Gabe, thanks for informing me that with white soap, you can't see where the white soap has gone.
I mean,
You're covered in dirt.
I've hung out with you. I don't know how often you shower.
I haven't showered in a week.
I'm telling you, I can smell you through our little internet studio.
Oh, that's wonderful.
All right, so round 2 has ended, and we have Crazy Karl versus Big Ass Bar of Soap.
Okay, so a Two Truths and a Lie never goes without a lacrosse story.
Oh, man. Are we doing this again?
We're doing it again.
All right.
And I'm talking about running. Running. Running was always one of the hardest things for me in lacrosse. Because when I would run, I would hear things because I didn't like running a lot. And plus, I didn't have a great form. But I'd be running mostly like in my freshman year when I wasn't quite diagnosed on the right medication. I'd be running, and all I would hear was voices in my head saying, stop running. Running sucks. Why do you even run? You're not going to make the team. You're awful. Why are you running? You hate running. Running is awful. I would hear all these negative, horrible things about running that I wouldn't be able to run, right? So once I started getting medicated and everything, I still would be running, but I wouldn't like it that much. But I wouldn't hear those negative thoughts. But I would still think to myself, I don't really like running that much. Running kind of sucks. And then my good friend Summer gave me a book called The Mental Athlete. And I did all these exercises in the book about it was questions and answers, how you feel about everything. And it really was helpful. So I'd be running, and the thoughts in my head and everything that was going on turned from, I hate running, it sucks, to, it's okay, you're running. The faster you run, the faster it's over. Think about your form. So the thoughts in my head changed from, running sucks, I hate you, stop running, to, the faster you run, the faster it's over. You can do this. So really, this is a story of horrible negative thoughts turning into positive good thoughts, which made me a better person.
I think the reason you have trouble running is because your legs are so short.
Not at all. You can be a very short person and a very good sprinter. I was a great sprinter. It was my distance running that wasn't good. I could sprint down the field very, very fast. My mile time was just never that fast. But I played low defense, so why did it have to be?
Didn't you walk up 110 flights of stairs?
Okay, that was the Empire State Building run up. And I think we only did 88 flights of stairs. It took me 22 minutes and 50 seconds. It was the worst 22 minutes and 50 seconds of my life. Yes, I went up the Empire State Building, the run up. I got the medal. I got everything. And at the end, I was like, I can't believe I just did that. I will never do that again. But at least I can say that I did it.
Do you think that walking up 88 flights of stairs for fun is mental illness?
Well, then a lot of people have a mental illness then. But I knew one guy that did it, gets to the top and goes, I'm going to do it again.
Did he?
Yep.
Wow.
Did it again. He was also way over 6 feet and a super runner and had legs that went up to my shoulders. So.
Wow. Well, we're going to call this story Run, Michelle, Run.
Yes.
Except we're going to stay at like Forrest Gump. Run, Michelle, run.
Yeah, you wish you could run like me.
I wish I could stand up like you. You ever notice it when we hang out? Like when I stand up, I'm like, and I have to grab a hold of something to pull me up. And you just like rise.
You're like Blanche. She was like in a wheelchair.
She didn't have to use her legs like a sucker? Well,
she didn't like being in a wheelchair. She wasn't a fan of that.
Well, I can certainly see why. I'm joking. That's a Homer Simpson joke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I missed that joke.
I'm happy that I can use my legs.
Oh, okay.
I feel like you should know that. Like, did you honestly think that I wanted to be confined to a wheelchair? Is that what you think of me? That I'm so lazy I want to be pushed around in a wheelchair?
You know what? I think I saw an SVU episode where a guy was doing that.
I'm just saying, will you push me around in a wheelchair?
No, but there's actually a woman in New York City that has a wheelchair and has signs all over her wheelchair. Please help me push my wheelchair. And I walked by her one day and she said, excuse me, miss, can you help me push me on the sidewalk? And I said, of course I can. Mitzvah of the day. Just saying.
Now, explain what a mitzvah is for our
a mitzvah is a good deed. A mitzvah means good deed.
Like me working with you.
Oh, shut up. It's me working with you.
Aw, that's so hateful.
PsychCentral.com is the internet's largest and oldest independent mental health online resource. Since 1995, our completely free, award-winning website has been run by mental health professionals offering reliable, trusted information, as well as over 250 support groups to people living with mental illness. From professional articles to personal stories, PsychCentral.com is worth your time checking out and is the generous sponsor of this podcast.
My next story is when we started the show, you asked me which wife I was telling story number one about, and I said it was my second wife. And as we all know, I'm on my third wife, so obviously wife number two had to come to an end.
Unfortunately. Well, no, it turned out to be better. You got a better wife.
Right. One, I got a better wife. And two, now me and wife number two are besties.
Yay.
Yay.
Yay. I'm glad you're besties.
That's it. Those classes are paying off so well. I mean, everything I say, you've got yay, and then you just repeat the last thing.
I don't know what I was going to say. Fine. Set me up again, bitch. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Yay. Okay. You and your last wife are besties. Oh, I'm so glad that you and your last wife are besties. Like, what do you do together? Do you go to lunch? Do you go to Popeyes or White Castle or Burger King? All of your favorite places to eat?
I don't like Popeyes. I've never been to Popeyes.
Well, I don't know. What do you bring it to White Castle and get a whole stack? Is that where you take girls on your first date? To your favorite place, White Castle?
No, I take them to Domino's.
No, you don't. You take girls to Domino's?
My first date with Kendall was to the gas station.
I cannot believe you're married.
I too am shocked.
I need to have a conversation with Kendall.
Okay,
who's the real mentally ill person if that's what happened?
I think that a lot. Like, I'm mentally ill, but there's something wrong with her. I mean, for real.
You took her to Domino's?
I did, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes.
Does her mother know that?
I mean, we're not hiding it. It's not like a deep secret.
God.
Okay. So obviously the relationship had to end. And a lot of people have never heard the story of how the relationship ended. First, I left Lisa. But then after a couple of weeks, I came back. And then a couple of weeks after that, Lisa said, this isn't working out. And it was very upsetting because, I was trying to get back with her and save my marriage. And I asked her why. And she said that she fought really hard to make me well, that we had spent many, many years on bipolar disorder, but that given how I left the first time and the fact that I came crawling back and my behavior and the things that I was saying and the way that I was behaving, she feared and felt very strongly that I wasn't better. I was back at the beginning, and that by agreeing to take me back, she would just be at the beginning of the hell of the last 5 years. And the thing that kept her going through the 5 years was this payoff that someday that I would be better, that I would reach recovery, and that we would just have a normal, boring life with the white picket fence or whatever. But the fact that I was right back where we started with the same, behaviors and mannerisms and issues, she didn't believe that I was going to be okay, and she didn't want me to be an albatross around her neck.
Well, I really hope that one's not true.
I understand where she was coming from. I mean, when you're helping somebody who's sick, the hope is that they will get better. And if they make a lot of progress, that's helpful. That's encouraging. That's beneficial. But if you see all that progress wiped out, then you've got to decide if you want to do it again. And Lisa decided that she would still be my friend, which I was grateful for, that she would still help me where she could, but that she wanted to have a life outside of managing Gabe's bipolar disorder. It's one of the reasons we stayed friends, because I relied on her for a lot and I needed her, and we still needed to have some sort of connection. But she helped me set up an apartment by myself, and I moved out on my own. And I'm happy to say that she was helpful. and that ultimately she was wrong and she could have had all this awesomeness
Oh,
in her
that she
home.
could have had all this, all that, and a bag
Yeah.
of troops.
But of course, it was very devastating to hear that somebody who believed in me for, the better part of 5 years, didn't believe in me anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry, little baby.
We're going to call this one Michelle Mocked Gabe's Pain. Michelle
mocked Gabe's pain. Gabe's in pain. You know what gives me pain? I get pain once a month.
We record twice a month.
I'm just saying.
The last round is Run Michelle Run versus Michelle Mocked Gabe's Pain. That brings us to the end of our 2 truths and 1 lie session, lining us up with Michelle's stories are called Is Stephen Real?, Crazy Karl, and Run Michelle Run. Gabe's stories are Gabe's 80s action movie, Big Ass Bar of Soap, and Michelle Mocked Gabe's Pain.
Can we ask each other questions?
We absolutely can ask each other questions. Go.
Wait, what was your first one again?
Gabe's 80s action movie. It's where I had to protect Lisa. I had to protect my second wife from the people.
Okay, my question about the big bar of soap. Does your wife ever use the big bar of soap, or does she have her own body wash?
So so you have no questions about story number 1. We're moving over to story number 2.
Well, this is the order that I'm going in here.
Okay.
I have an order of happenings.
No, she does not like the big bar of soap. She says that it constantly falls out of her hand. And more importantly, she has a loofah and all kinds of body creams and lotions. And, when she comes back from Bath and Body Works, I think that she's baking. And then I find out that it's just...
So you take 3 showers a day?
I take 2 to 3 showers a day.
Morning, afternoon, and night?
Definitely morning and night, not always in the afternoon. Sometimes I come home from work and I take a shower. Sometimes I take a shower. It's definitely at least 2. One when I get up and one when I go to bed.
Okay, sounds good. You got questions for me?
That's it? No other questions?
That's no other questions.
What's Karl's last name?
I can't tell you that.
Why not?
You said don't say people's last names.
Uh-huh. Is Stephen real?
I told you he was real.
Did you make Stephen up?
Apparently he was there, and then apparently I made him up at the same time.
Ooh, so he's like Schrodinger's date.
I told you the story that they told me is that I was on the couch with Stephen. Stephen left, and then I was back on the couch talking to somebody like I was talking to Stephen, but he was not there. And I was completely unaware of this until I was told the next day that's what I was doing.
Okay, now on the running, you admit that there is a physical and sports activity that you are not good at.
Running, yeah. Distance running, I am horrible at distance running. As an athlete, maybe better than some other people, but on my lacrosse team, I had one of the slowest mile times.
So other people beat you and you were a loser.
I wasn't a loser. On your own team, you're not a loser.
But I mean,
I played low defense. I will tell you, Gabe, I was the fastest sprinter. I lifted the heaviest weight. I was one of the slowest mile times.
And one of the shortest people.
Yes, I was like the second to shortest person.
And the only schizophrenic.
The only schizophrenic, but I could beat a 2v1. I beat like 5 2v1s in a game. I ran the defense. I knew what I was doing. I was amazing. But running long distances was never my forte.
Excellent. Crazy Karl's the lie.
Yeah, it's the lie.
Yes! 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 Crazy Karl is not real! Excellent. Okay. You know what tipped me off, by the way?
I don't know.
You do not have to be worried about anybody when Michelle Hammer is around. You would chase that person down with the lacrosse stick and just beat them into submission. Nobody has to be afraid of anything if Michelle Hammer is your friend. That is your best quality ever.
I know. That's why I can't come up with these lies because it's like so obvious what I would do. Okay, your lie is the first one.
Gabe's 80s action movie?
Yeah.
No, I totally did that.
Oh, damn it.
I was in socked feet and they were all wet and I walked for 2 or 3 hours. It terrified Lisa. It absolutely terrified her. She
Well,
said
then
it was
I
the
really don't
scariest
know.
thing.
But between the other two, I don't know. What the fuck, the soap one? I don't really know.
The soap one. The
Yeah.
soap one is also true.
Okay, well then it was the other one. I thought you still talked to your ex-wife.
I do.
That's why I thought it was real. I didn't know that's what you. Listen, this lie was supposed to be something completely false.
It was completely
that you weren't
false.
just changing the story.
I didn't change the story.
I know you still talk to your ex-wife.
Of course I still talk to my ex-wife.
So you just took your ex-wife and you made a whole story about it. So what are you talking about?
You can use people that you know.
Oh, no. No. I don't like how you did this one.
No. Last month when we played Two Truths and a Lie, you told a story that was a lie about one of your friends and fish on doors.
No, but that was but that was different. You told a story about somebody that I know who's in your life. Therefore, I know that Lisa's in your life. So I'm going to think you're telling a story about Lisa in your life. I'm going to think that it's true. That was a shenanigans story, Gabe. That was shenanigans. You did not follow the rules.
You know there's showers in my life, right? Did you think
But who takes 3 showers a day?
I do.
I didn't know that you take 3 showers a fucking day.
You know, this one was also a freebie because I told you at Healthy Voices I take 3 showers a day. I even went up in the middle of the day and you said, "Where are you going?" And I said, "I have to take a shower." And you said, and I quote, "What the hell's wrong with you?"
Can you say, and I quote, "I was very all over the place at that conference, wasn't I? Going all over the place. I didn't really know what was going on. I was just drinking coffee the entire time."
Remember that time that the other people bought their own coffee and you were like, "Why are you buying coffee when there's perfectly free coffee?" And you said that Blanche would not approve.
Oh, Blanche would not. Blanche would be disgusted that people would go and buy coffee and bring it to an event where there's free coffee. How dare you do that? How dare you do that? My grandmother would if I ever did that, my grandmother would roll over in her grave. But not even my mother would be so mad at me for doing that. Buying coffee at an event where there's free coffee, where it's actually good coffee. I don't think anyone in my family, there's no one in my family that would think that's an okay thing to do.
You are more upset about this than stigma and discrimination.
I am. It is irrational. It is irrational to go to Starbucks when you're going to show up to an event where there's free coffee. Free coffee, people. You don't go and buy coffee. We are in a recession. We are in a recession, people.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into a Bipolar, a Schizophrenic, and a podcast. We will see you next week. Please like and share us everywhere so that we can become worldwide famous and quit our day jobs.
Free coffee!
You've been listening to a Bipolar, a Schizophrenic, and a podcast. If you love this episode, don't keep it to yourself. Head over to iTunes or your preferred podcast app to subscribe, rate, and review. To work with Gabe, go to gabehoward.com. To work with Michelle, go to schizophrenic.nyc. For free mental health resources and online support groups, head over to psychcentral.com. The show's official website is psychcentral.com/BSP. You can email us at show@psychcentral.com. Thank you for listening and share widely.